Yo, bro, I've been saying for a while now, anime is not for kids, okay? Maybe there are some anime that are designated for children, like Pokemon, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, etc. But then you have very adult anime like Berserk, Attack on Titan. Let's get into it. Let's just get into it because I'm tired of this rhetoric. Let's do it.
I used to despise anime like my life depended on it.
Wow.
Until I bore witness to 6 pieces of anime that completely changed my perspective on that medium in general. And most of them I watched just this year. I was never into the Japanese style of animation. To be honest, I'm not into animation that much in general. As a kid, I loved Yu-Gi-Oh! Was obsessed with Yu-Gi-Oh! Dude, when these 3 teamed up in the Pyramid of Light movie or whatever, that was my No Way Home.
That was peak. You know what I mean? That was my childhood, like that was when all 3 Spider-Men came together, essentially, as a child. That's when Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland, and Andrew Garfield were all in the same movie. This was that back then, okay? Respectfully.
I was a Bakugan fan, a Beyblade fan, Avatar The Last Airbender fan. A lot of my friends were into Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, Bleach. They were like, Zavi, come on, watch Bleach. Now, as the years went by, I stopped with animation. Then, when the lockdowns occurred, my friends made me watch stuff like Castlevania and Blood of Zeus. I liked both. This is all American media, right? For some reason, when it came to Japanese animation, I couldn't take it seriously. I just couldn't get into it. I didn't like it. There was something off about it to me. Ever since my friends were trying to get me into One Piece, and then they told me, okay, listen, give it 100 episodes.
Yeah, look, I will say this right now. I am up to about episode 350 in One Piece. I slept on it for the majority of my life. I've been an anime fan for as long as I can remember, and I always heard about One Piece. I always heard it was good. It was always within the big 3. I watched Bleach, I watched Naruto, I watched Blue Exorcist, I watched Soul Eater, the list goes on. But I had never gotten around to watching One Piece because it was just so intimidating that it was like at 600, 700 episodes back then. Now they're over 1,100 episodes. It's a very intense anime. There's a lot of episodes you need to watch, and it doesn't get good until about the Water 7 arc, until about episode 290 ish, like not even, I'm lying, about 200. Everything above 200 is where it starts to get good. You understand? But a lot of people aren't going to be willing to make that investment. I know I wasn't for a very long time. I just started watching One Piece at 29. I'm 30 now. Okay, I just turned 32 months ago. I've heard about One Piece since I was 15, 16. Okay, so there are some anime that is just too in-depth. It's too much for some people to digest, and I understand that. But now that I've watched One Piece, I fucking love One Piece. It's going to be in my top 5 anime of all time. Absolutely. I'm dying. I'm binging everything. I'm dying to get to the end of it because it's actually really fucking good. I'm glad I made that choice.
Before it really gets going, give it 100, give it 200 episodes, Effie. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? You think I have infinite amounts of time in the world? I'm not doing this. The little I saw from Japanese anime, I thought there was a lot of filler, pacing issues, it was very slow paced, exposition throughout the show to the point where I couldn't take it seriously because I'm used to dialogue that's very different, and thought dialogue. And what I mean by that is, when characters are in the middle of a battle or there's some important scene going on with a lot of tension, they tend to have thought bubbles in their head which they narrate and they show it to the audience. And I was just like, I can't get with this. I can't get on the program, man. I'm sorry. What's up with these people monologuing mid-punch? I've had a 2-year journey.
Hey, look. Anime isn't for everybody, okay? If it ain't for you, that's perfectly fine. I don't like rom-coms. You feel me? I don't like reality TV shows. I don't watch a lot of stuff, okay? If it ain't for you, it ain't for you. But one thing I repeat, I will not accept is any anime slander. Okay? If you don't like it, if you don't watch it, cool. Go about your business and go watch whatever floats your boat. But don't think that you can talk shit about anime and that there ain't gonna be repercussions for those actions. Okay? We will not stand for it.
Into going through anime. You guys have recommended me a lot of shit. My cousins and friends have made me watch a lot of shit. And I want to touch on some of those today, alright? I want to give a shout out to some honorable mentions though before I go into this, right? Look Back was an anime movie I saw this year. This is one of the saddest stories I've ever seen in my life. And apparently they're making a live action movie about this. I ain't watching that shit. I'm sorry. Really fucking well done though. Really, really well done. Chainsaw Man, the Reze arc. I made a whole video on that.
Really good.
Enjoyed it. Batshit insane. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I haven't finished it.
Yo, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is in my top 3 anime of all time. I'm gonna let you know right now. Attack on Titan, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Yu Yu Hakusho. That's my top 3 anime of all time. Let me know if you guys agree in the comments. Let me know if you disagree in the comments. I would love to have this debate with you, okay? But yeah, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, the Elric brothers, Alphonse, Edward, Mustang, like, bro, Scar, bro. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is fucking amazing. And one of the best things about it, it's only what, 62, 64 episodes? It's a quick watch. It's not like One Piece over 1,100 episodes. It's a quick watch. 64 episodes from beginning to end. And one of the most in-depth and just tragic and most triumphant stories you'll ever come across. Okay? Give Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood a chance. Not Full Metal Alchemist. Not Full Metal Alchemist. Make sure it says Brotherhood. That's the one that's true to the manga, okay? All right, I'm done. I digress.
Look, there's some shows on this list I haven't finished, mind you. There's a lot of episodes, okay? But man, I really enjoyed it. I really love Edward as a main character. I love the seven sins, those cosmic entities that show up. It's
greed,
pretty dark too.
Lust,
the origin
envy,
story of these characters. There's one episode.
pride.
You know the one. When you look at this visual, you know the one. Full Metal.
Oh yeah, the little girl. I forgot her name. The little girl that. I don't even want to talk about it. It's gonna make me cry. I don't want to talk about it.
Alchemist fans. It's surprisingly dark, despite being very lighthearted and kiddie at times. It's very, very dark. I love the music.
Dark.
I love the characters.
If you guys have noticed the 3 anime I stated, I'm a huge fan of dark anime. Okay, I love dark, mature anime. Okay, that's why Attack on Titan is up there. Full Metal Alchemist, Berserk, Yu Yu Hakusho. I love dark anime. I don't know what it is. Something might be wrong with my brain. Whatever. But I like dark anime, gritty, dark vibes. That's my type of shit.
Love this show. Now we're gonna get into the 6 anime. This is not just TV shows, this is movies as well, I'm counting, all right? These changed my perspective on anime entirely. Okay? I didn't think anime was like serious, mature shit until I saw this, all right? Vampire Hunter D. Big Vampire fan, all right? Big Castlevania fan. This reminds you a lot.
I'm not a big vampire guy. I will admit. I'm not too big into vampires, but I do love Hellsing Ultimate. If you are into vampires and you haven't seen Hellsing Ultimate, check that anime out. It's really good.
A lot of Castlevania. I think I watched the Bloodlust movie. From the opening scene, the gothic aesthetic, how dark it all is. It reminds me of Castlevania and Spawn put together at times. I was hooked. D, the Dunpeel Hunter, the hybrid, is a badass. He's got infinite aura. Of course he does. The visuals, the creatures, the amount of lore that's stacked into this. I don't even know about half the shit that's going on. This is a vampire with a talking hand, literally a talking hand, and it still got me into it. The villains are not as villainous as you may think. There's some complex shit happening here. I love the visuals of this. I think that's what really gripped me the most, more than anything else. Yeah. Like, this is a movie about a vampire hunter chasing a vampire who's trying to bang a chick, basically. And there's a rocket that ends up going into space at one point in the film, too. Like, it's all that shit happens in this film. And you know what? I enjoyed it all while it was happening.
Okay.
Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Look, made a whole video on this.
Yeah. AOT, nigga. It's my shit. Listen, people be talking shit about Attack on Titan, and for the people that do, you, okay? Attack on Titan is fucking amazing, all right? Like, some people want to talk shit about the way that it ended. They don't like the way that they concluded the entire series. Attack on Titan is fucking amazing. It is an amazing series from beginning to end, okay? And anybody who disagrees, hey, feel free to let me know in the comments why you disagree. But I think it's one of the best animes ever. It's actually my #1 anime of all time. Like I said, top 3, Attack on Titan, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Yu Yu Hakusho. Attack on Titan is #1 on that fucking list, okay? It's absolutely amazing. All right, let me stop glazing AOT now. I'm done.
This was tough to get through in the first few episodes. Fuck it, the first season even. But the reveals that happen in this.
Yes.
The creatures that are in the lore.
Yes.
Is insane.
Yes.
It has one of the craziest twists I've ever seen in anything. In any story in fiction.
Bro, AOT is so layered. AOT is so fucking layered. There's so many layers to it. There's so many twists and turns and reveals and... Fuck, let me shut up.
When you find out what's really going on, what's wrong with this city that's guarded by these walls, what the nature of the Titans really are, and where they come from. It's insane. The main character,
Eren,
this might as well, you might as well call it what it is. This is kind of like a villain origin story. He's not like a traditional hero.
Yeah.
You know, like he has like a Dune Messiah, Paul Atreides arc a little bit in this too. I love it. I love seeing character transformations like this. A cute, innocent little kid turning into a fucking savage by the end of the show. And the lore. This is, I have to mention this as one of the things that's completely changed my perspective on anime, because I don't sit through anime. That's not something I do. I'm not that kind of person. Attack on Titans made me sit through it for 4 seasons. Because
Bro, I've watched it from beginning to end multiple times. Okay? I'm obsessed with AOT. It's fucking awesome.
And the characters were just that good. Monster.
Look,
I'm finishing Monster.
Yo, Monster's amazing. This is another one. It's only about 64, 65 episodes. Very short watch, but the story is so in-depth and detailed. And it's not an action anime. It's not a super fight-heavy anime. No, it's a story. It's a slow burn, and it's one of the most just intriguing and in-depth anime you'll ever come across. I promise you.
Right now, and all I'm going to say is maybe the only grounded, realistic show that doesn't have fantasy elements out of the things I've listed here. Actually, no, there's one more. This show has one of the greatest villains ever. If you're a Monster fan, you know this. Anyone who's talked about this knows this. If there's one thing you can cite about this show that no one can question, it's how badass Johan is as a villain.
Yeah.
This motherfucker is different. And you know what? Just like Judge Holden from Blood Meridian, this guy's going to be very hard to adapt in a live action format if they ever decide to do that one day. He's that level of dark and brutal. You can't characterize him in the normal way you would for traditional villains. This isn't like a psychopath. This isn't a Texas Chainsaw Massacre slasher. This isn't even a Hannibal Lecter. Even though I will say Hannibal from the show Hannibal, Mads Mikkelsen's Hannibal, is the only villain I know that comes close to this character when it comes to anything that can be compared to him. That's what I love about the show. Look, it's a very slow burn. There's like, 70-something episodes, and it can be tough to get through at times, I'll be honest, man. Because Johan is the most interesting part of the show, and he's not in it a lot. He's in it in spurts.
Yeah.
It's like a cat and mouse game between him and the main characters. I do love the main character Tenma in this. But there's a lot of different characters and different stories the show goes to. Some of it can be filler. Some of it can be very slow paced. It can be tough. I will say the first half of the show is, in my opinion, more riveting than the second half, but the final few episodes of the second half, the final few episodes of the show in general, are fucking insane when you realize what Johan's plans really are. Now, here are the ones that shocked me to my core, because I was recommended Monster a lot. I knew that shit was going to be good going into it, because there were people I trusted that recommended this to me, but the ones I'm about to mention are the ones that
What's up?
I had no words for. All right?
Let's get it.
Berserk.
Yo, I fucking love Berserk, bro. Guts is gangster, okay? Guts is gangster, my nigga. Yo, Berserk is one of the best anime ever. It was one of the first anime where I saw people bleeding, getting their limbs cut off, heads cut off, decapitated. I'm talking about, nigga, what? Yo, if you haven't seen Berserk, bro, if you've never seen Berserk, guys, please go check it out if you have the stomach for it. If you're someone who doesn't like blood and doesn't like gory anime and doesn't like fighting and doesn't like that type of shit, you could take your little bitch ass elsewhere, okay? For us over here on this side, yeah, go check out Berserk, all right? That shit fire. It's just so tough.
Look, again, another show I've made a video about because I wouldn't say I was traumatized, but this is one of the shows that gave me no closure. And I think part of that is because the story itself hasn't even ended yet, I'm pretty sure. I watched the Golden Age arc, a 1992 show, because there's many reboots of it or whatever. This is like the best one-season story I've seen in the animation format.
Okay.
Easily. Guts is one of the most badass main characters ever. I believe this actually has one of my favorite couples in fiction ever, Guts and Casca. I really love them together, and I was rooting for them to get together the entire show. And when they did, it's a great payoff. Griffith.
Griffith.
Another one of these villains. He's a hard one to surpass. I would still say I like Johan more as a villain, but Griffith is a great fucking villain. He's so good. This dude in the show has a cult of personality around him, right? He's got so much aura. So many people look up to him and respect him despite him doing some very questionable things, that he tricks people. And even fans of the show, fans of Griffith, are also pulled into the personality. I've seen people unironically, literally, defend some of the stuff he does. And it weirds me out a little bit, but my lord, if that's not an indication of how fucking badass your villain was and how well written he was, I don't know what else to say. And the ending of the show is the craziest ending.
Yo, that scene right there, bro. That scene right there where the boy is crying out of straight anger and just like, yo, bro, Berserk. Fuck, bro.
I think I've ever seen in my life. It's so brutal. When that blood moon rises and he holds out the Behelit necklace, it's freaking terrifying, man. It's freaking. I don't want to spoil anything because I'll be honest, the parts of this ending were spoiled to me as a little kid. I saw some visuals of some molestations occurring as a kid. My cousin turned a YouTube clip on or something when we were kids, and I saw it. And since then, I was like, what was that? What was that thing, a scene I saw? And hence I watched Berserk, and I was like, oh shit, that's what I saw. That's insane.
Shit's heavy.
My face was this during the scene. This reaction says it all. Even I was like, what the fuck? Oh, hell no, man. Crazy stuff, man. Let me say something, alright? Time travel has been done in varying levels of quality throughout film, right? From Back to the Future to Avengers Endgame. Some of them work out, some of them don't. But there's one anime that does time travel. I think maybe the best I've seen. Maybe.
I will admit, I haven't seen Steins Gate. I've always heard about it, but I've never watched it. I've always seen the thumbnail. I've always seen the posters. I've always seen it around, lingering, but I've never actually taken the time to watch it. So this is on my list.
Close to it, at least. Probably one of my favorite instances of time travel being used. Steins Gate. Steins Gate, in my opinion, is kind of like a love story cosplaying as like a science fiction time travel show. Because it is a time travel show. That's what it is. But just like Guts and Casca, I think these two, again, kind of make up my favorite romance duo of all time. Basically about these characters that figure out how to send messages to themselves in the past. And that can change changes world lines. This kind of follows the rules of if you change something in time, a new timeline branches out, and it'll keep going that way. It'll keep going that way. But all timelines kind of tend towards fate, fate, and it's about trying to stop that. And our characters going on a journey and facing the consequences of changing time. And it's amazing.
Okay.
It's by the end of the show, I was shook. I was like, God damn, man.
I'm gonna check this out.
I couldn't even understand what I was watching half the time, to be fair. But when you go back and start to notice certain details, it's a well done show, man. Steins Gate's great.
Okay.
This
is on my to watch list for sure. This is on my watch list for sure.
Things that happen in the first few episodes that you won't even understand. It's again, a lot of these animes have slow starts, but when you get into it and when you realize what's going on, it's a great payoff. This goes from kind of a fun, kiddie kind of atmosphere that's bright and vibrant to dark psychological fucking thriller where real shit's going down. And it gets to that really fast. The tone shift happens at neck break speeds. Number one.
Okay. Number one.
My friend said that there was a theatrical release of this anime movie. And he said, you need to watch it. Find it online. It's old. Very, very old. I think it was like in the 80s or 90s.
Come on.
And I did. And all I'm going to say is, Perfect Blue is one of the best.
Yeah. Okay. This is a film. This isn't a TV series. Perfect Blue. So I have another YouTube channel, guys, where I don't show my face at all. It's just strictly anime type of content, recommendations, top films, etc. I have one where I gave the top anime films, 10 of them that people should be watching. Perfect Blue came up like 4th on that list. This is an incredible anime film. If you haven't seen it, I really, really highly suggest that you do. I really do recommend it, for real.
Pieces of anime. Best films I've ever seen in my life. This is a movie. Dark psychological thriller doesn't even begin to describe what this film is. This has literally influenced many films that I've seen, like The Black Swan, many more. When I was watching this, I'm like, oh shit, there's a lot of movies that literally took influence from this. When you're watching, this is about a singer, basically, who decides to like retire from singing, her singing career, and become an actress. You see the fallout from that. You see that certain fans don't want her to change. Some obsessive fans. And she starts to get stalked. And you don't...
It really dives into the entire conversation of fans who are obsessed with celebrities. You know, fans who they reach such a level of obsession with a celebrity or a prominent figure in Hollywood, in media, etc., to the point where it becomes a danger to said celebrity. It becomes incredibly dangerous. You understand? People breaking into celebrities' homes, people invading celebrities' privacy, you know, things like that. It touches into those type of topics, but it does it very well, very tastefully. One of the best anime films in this type of lane by far.
Don't know if it's all in her head, if she's hallucinating. You don't know what the hell is going on, and I guarantee you won't be able to predict what really is the twist at the end of this, because when the reveal does happen and you find out what's actually going on, what's been happening, why these crazy, dark, brutal events have been happening in her life, you'll never see it coming. In my opinion, you'll never see it coming. When I was watching this, I had 50 different theories about what was happening. And each one of them got proven wrong. I couldn't believe it. That's Perfect Blue, man. The best thing that anime has given me recently.
Okay.
But all these are great. They all changed my perspective on anime. I'm gonna finish up Monster because I'm on the precipice of this shit. I'm gonna make a video on Johan for sure. I'm gonna start Neon Genesis next probably. I think that's the one. That's the one that's catching my interest the most. There's also Psycho-Pass, which is another one.
Psycho-Pass is good.
Those are the animes that completely changed
Psycho-Pass is pretty good.
my perspective on anime itself. Bye.
Okay. Yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not mad at any of the picks that you gave, okay? Everything that you said are some of the most amazing anime on the face of the planet, okay? Attack on Titan, Monster, Berserk, Perfect Blue. Granted, I haven't seen Steins Gate, but I've always heard good things about it. I got to get around to seeing it. Yeah, bro, listen, I'm a huge anime fan. I've been an anime fan for a very long time. And I used to have the same type of mindset. You know, I grew up, like I said, with Pokemon, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Bakugan, Beyblade, these type of anime that were meant for kids. I was watching it on WB Kids, Fox Kids, Kids WB, Fox Kids. Like, I was watching it as a child, Cartoon Network. You know what I mean? But then as I got older around 13, 14, 15, I got introduced to much more mature anime, okay? Anime that is not meant for kids, okay? Anime that shows a lot of blood, a lot of sexual themes, a lot of in-depth stories that are not meant for kids. Only adults should be watching this type of content because its themes, the thematic essence of these animes are too granular for a child to understand. Even me as a teenager watching them, I rewatched them now as an adult, as a 30-year-old man, and I see it completely different. I wasn't, I hadn't lived enough life experience to understand certain topics and themes that were being spoken upon in these anime. Okay, so yeah, I want to end this video by saying this. If you are still somebody who is under the impression that anime is solely and only for children, you are sadly mistaken. Okay, you need to broaden your horizon. You need to open up this small-minded box that you live in and can confide yourself into, and realize that anime is a medium that touches multiple different types of people, young, old, you know what I mean, into romance, into action, into thriller, into mystery, into horror, into all of these things. Okay, there's an anime for anyone and everyone out there. Okay, so that whole rhetoric, animes for kids, let's dead it. It's bullshit. Put it in the grave and leave it there. Okay? All right? Are we all on the same page? Okay, then. Thank you. This has been a public service announcement. Okay? Look, guys, I'm going to end this one off here. I'm going to go check out Steins Gate for sure. I got to watch that. But yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.